Oh, well, hello, friends. Hello. We're back with another episode of It's Just Cooking. Now, today, we're doing a very American meal. We're doing meatloaf. Now, me myself personally, I've never been like the meatloaf Monday type of person. I don't mind a meatloaf, but then I came across this recipe on America's Test Kitchen. I got a big old book. It's about this big. It has 1 billion recipes in it. And this one was the world famous best all beef meatloaf. Traditionally, a meatloaf would use 3 types of meat. You'd have some beef, you'd have some pork, you'd have some veal. And each of those proteins provide a different essence and texture and flavor to the meatloaf. Today, with this all beef meatloaf, we're going to do some super fun tricks and it's going to be the most delicious meatloaf you've ever had. I promise. I've done this 3 times. If it wasn't so delicious, I wouldn't be sharing it with you right now. So come on. Okay, first thing first. Let's prep this. This is pre meatloaf stuff. Pre meatloaf stuff. You see what we got here? We have a sheet pan, and then we have another little, razor sheet pan, and
Drying rack.
we sprayed it. Psh. Oh, actually, first, you see all these holes? We went and just poked a bunch of holes in it. And then we sprayed it with some oil. The second thing we did was we took our second mystery ingredient, Monterey Jack cheese, and we have shredded it on a big box grater, big whole box grater, spread it out, and we're getting it in the freezer. Keep it in the freezer until we're ready. Okay, so we need to start this action. And we're going to start with the typical meatloaf ingredients. We have onion and celery. 1 onion, 1 celery, minced. We're going in. Melting some butter. We have 1 tablespoon of butter. Unsalted butter. This is unsalted butter. We're going to do some weird stuff in this. The people in American's Test Kitchen, they're crazy. I mean, I like them, but they're crazy. And this is an awesome recipe. It uses all sorts of crazy stuff to make kind of the most delicious meatloaf I've ever had in my life. So we got butter melted. We're going on with the veg. And this will take, I don't know, minutes. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes. We'll figure it out. Probably 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. I want to salt them so bad, but don't do it. Don't do it. I don't think we want them to be super colorful. I think we want them to be nice and soft and luxurious. So we'll give it some stirring periodically. America's Test Kitchen. I also would have put probably like 2.5 tablespoons of butter in this, but we're not. We're following the recipe. I can't believe we're following the recipe, but we're following the recipe because they just know what they're doing. Sons of bitches. So 6 to 8 minutes, or maybe longer. I don't know what your stove cooks like. Everyone's range is different, so you just want them to kind of begin to brown. Here's the thing about this recipe. If you have all the mise en place together, you got all your shit together before you start this, it's not that big of a deal. The hardest thing about this recipe is just getting everything together. And the second hardest thing is if you follow their recipe, it's super confusing. So watch me and I'll show you how to do it unconfused. We are getting close. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, we have a smidge of browning. Oh, let's let it go slow. Okay, here we go. We're going in with some paprika. We're going in with some thyme. We're going in with some garlic. 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons. 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. We think. Give this a little roasty toasty for about a minute. Let the garlic get nice and aromatic. Aromatic. I think as soon as you can start smelling that thyme and garlic, we'll take it. Now we've got 1/4 cup of tomato juice. And we're going to deglaze it with this. So I guess we're going to dump it in and reduce. Okay, we're dropping it to low. We're going in 1/4 cup tomato juice. We're kind of going to let this thing go about for a couple minutes, probably 2. And we put no salt in this yet. Blows my mind every time. starting to thicken up a little bit. That's what we're looking for. It's a little jammy, a little thicker. Not jammy, but you know, just a little thicker. We're going to turn it off the heat. And we're going to transfer it all back into this bowl for it to cool down. We don't want this hot mixer and our cold meat scrambling my eggs. I don't want that. I don't want that in my life. We'll come back to this station later for our sauce. All right, we gotta let this cool. See, this looks good. Looks good, gotta cool. Step number 2. We take the biggest bowl we got, and we take 1/2 of a cup of chicken stock that I have cheated and put some sprinkling of chicken bouillon in, because that's what I do. Goes in the bowl. Then we have 2 eggs. Okay, we got 2 eggs. We got 1/2 cup of chicken stock with some chicken bouillon sprinkled in it, because that's how we do. We give this the whiskiest of the business. Then we're going to see the secretest of secret ingredients. But we're not ready for it yet. So we hinted at our secret ingredient. And here it is. So we had the conversation that we are just using beef. Now the issue with just using beef and not using any veal is we don't get the lusciousness that veal provides to the loaf. So we're going to supplement that with 1/2 of a teaspoon of unflavored gelatin. And we're just going to sprinkle it over the top of this egg and chicken stock mixture, and we're going to let it rest undisturbed for 5 minutes. And by that time, our onion mixture should be cooled. I wanna wait for cheese. Okay, you go in, so our 5 minutes is done. This is set for 5 minutes undisturbed, and now we're going to disturb it. We're going to go in with 2/3 of a cup of saltines that I've crushed. We're going to go in with parsley. We're going to go in with soy sauce. We're going to go in with about a teaspoon of Dijon, and salt and pepper. We're going to give it a grand old stir. The very last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go grab our onion mixture that has been cooled off. We're going in with all the onions. Then we'll give it a bit of a stir. Just a little bit. Give it all incorporated. Okay, so now here comes some even more weird stuff. Back to the freezer where we have our frozen cheese. Who knows? So we have our first or second secret ingredient, however you want to look at it. This shredded frozen Monterey Jack cheese. And the recipe tells me to take it and crumble it over the top. Let's see if we can do that. Just the whole thing. I guess just crumble it over the top. Now maybe I could put this in like a food processor and get into like a powder. I don't know. Maybe next time I'll try. You can try. You can try that and let me know how it goes. Now, the final ingredient, the meat. We have 1 pound each sirloin and chuck, and they're going in. 1 pound 90 sirloin, 1 pound 85 or 80 chuck. And I think the key to this is pretend like you have arthritis hands and to gently mix this whole thing together. You don't want to be overly aggressive. You want to be nice. You want to be nice with it. But it needs to be incorporated. So you take your little arthritis claws and just for like about a minute. You don't want to overdo this. That's why you want arthritis claws. Maybe just your least dominant hand. You just kind of go. Okay, so here we go. The final piece of this puzzle. We got our meat. It smells really good.
Because it looks gross.
Because it looks gross. We're going directly onto our thing. And we want to mold this kind of like an oval.
Freeform.
Freeform. We like to freeform our loaves. We want it to be about a 10 by 6 oval, about 2 inches high. So we'll just kind of massage our meat until we think that we're about there. I'm sure we could take a ruler and measure it, but you know, we're not America's Test Kitchen. We just do what we do. Follow their instructions and hope for the best. And by follow their instructions, we eyeball it. Does that look good? I think so too. Okay, then we take the gloves off. I'm going to do something that's going to piss my mom off. But we don't care. We're going to rake the top of it. I rake the top of my cornbread dressing, and it gives me little crumbly things on top. So my thinking was, will that work on meatloaf? We'll find out.
Ooh, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Exactly. So here's the thing. This is going into the oven just like this. And I can hear all of you saying, but what about the glaze? What about the top? Ah! Listen, we'll get to that. I too was a bit skeptical, but then again, it's America's Test Kitchen. They're crazy. So we go into the oven. We're going to cook it for about 55 to 65 minutes. We're going to stick an instant read thermometer in it. And if it gets 135, 140, we're ripping it out. And then stay tuned.
What temperature is the oven on?
The oven is on 375. Okay, while this is all cooking, to the sauce station. I told you there would be a sauce. Here's what we do. We take some ketchup, your preferred brand of ketchup. Okay, back to, so we have some ketchup in our bowl. To that, we're also going to add some apple cider vinegar with about a teaspoon of whatever your choice of hot sauce is. Then we've got 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and it looks like a teaspoon of coriander. That's going in. We're going to turn this bad boy on and give the old whiskey business. Okay, we just want to simmer this for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and awesome. We'll be good to go. It's been the length of time that we set the timer for. So we're going to open it up and see if this is good. Oh, it smells so good. Woo! And it looks good. Doesn't matter if we let heat out, because here's what we're doing. Oh, for all you saucy people, well, first of all, let's check. We feel like we're right. So, friends, we take this luscious glaze that we made, and we take half of it. Half of it. Half of it. And we go on. Take our little brushy brush. You get out of here. And we'll just let it hit. Just let it hit nicely. Just nice. This is step one. Step one of glaze. Don't worry. Good God, don't worry. I know you want the sauce. It'll be fine. You'll get sauce. What did we do? Oh, we set the broiler on broil. We're going to let this season set up for like 3 minutes. And then we're going to take it back out. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to put it back in. Let's watch. So we take the second half of this luxurious sauce and go out. And this, my friends, is going in for 3 more minutes. Okay, I think this is great. It's starting to bubble. We double basted it. We're gonna take this out. Now our only issue now is we have to wait like 20 minutes for this thing to cool down.
20 minutes later.
Look at this. Yeah, looks good. Well, we see him forever when we can eat this thing. Well, friends, take a look at our masterpiece here. We're gonna give a little cuts. We've waited long enough. And here's the thing, you can't get meatloaf that slices, you can't get all beef meatloaf that slices like this. Playa, you can't do that. You can't buy that. I'm gonna do a whole setup for myself. Hold on. Little mashed potatoes, some peas. Outstanding. It's outstanding. Here's how good it is. Turn around, camera people. I've got friends over. Because I know that this is going to be good. I can't wait to feed it to them. They're going to love it. In fact, here, Jamie, come take a piece real fast.
All right.
I'll have an unbiased opinion. On camera, first time.
That's pretty good.
It's just
Pretty good.
It's just good.
Pretty good. Glad I came over.
All right, we're good. Now we can serve people.